Hey, yo.
If I can be serious for a minute.
Oh, yeah. Acknowledge me.
The intro wants to just always make me want to bang my head.
Yeah, right.
Heck yeah, get you ready for the pod.
You know what that was? That's Seth Rollins' like old intro.
The old one, like one of the originals?
Yeah, like one of his first it's either NXT or right when he first came to WWE. Like one of the ones they tried out for him.
Nice. Well, it always gets me rolling because I'm fired up
Yeah.
now. So here we go, Primo, episode number 94 of the Sit Down Marks. What's going on, guys? It's your boys, Primo. What's going on, man? How you doing today, brother?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, I'm doing the pod. You know, it's Wednesday where they say it's Wednesday night. You know what that means?
That's right. It means
That's right. It's pod day, and I'm here with the two-time Kurt Angle champion, DB.
That's right. Right. That's it. And of course, AJ, how you doing today, buddy?
AJ? Huh.
Oh, no AJ today. Interesting. In all seriousness, just me and Primo today. AJ is out, doing work shoot stuff. Like I said, he is a man about the town, and the town calls for his, when he sees the bat signal, he has to go. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
That's just the way it is, So the AJ
it's like,
light was in the sky.
He sees the sky, light in the sky, and then he's like,
exactly. And so he puts on the cape and off he goes to cover college basketball. What a guy. What a guy. But he'll be back. No worries. No worries. Welcome to the Best Kept Secret in Wrestling podcast. Like I said, it's Primo, it's DB, it's your boys. I want to thank everyone listening, of course, on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google, all those that I say each and every week. And thank you also to SportzWire Online Radio. If you're listening to us on there, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thank you, Thomas Bryce, as well. And make sure you check them out each and every week. Check out his pod as well. And we also want to remind you to go leave us a review on any of those podcast platforms out there that you are listening from. We've been getting a lot of positive ones lately. Thank you so much for giving us those. We appreciate it. We thank you so much. The podcast just continues to grow. You know, we just hit another milestone here lately, so we're excited about how this thing's going, and the reviews are really, really helping. So thank you so much for whatever and any time that you may listen to the podcast. So obviously, happy holidays, everybody. We have entered the holiday season. Primo, are you ready for the holidays, man?
Yeah, man, I love the holidays. My favorite time is Thanksgiving, but Christmas comes in a close third to my birthday. Sure. Just kidding. No, I love Christmas. Same. It's a great time of year. It brings a lot of Christmas spirit about amongst people, so it's always good to see.
Yeah, for sure, man. It's like the best time of year, I guess, putting smiles on faces. But just wanted to say happy holidays, everybody out there, and thank you for listening to the pod. So here we go, guys. Let's get this thing kicked off, Primo. See what the old jukebox has for us today.
Oh, jukety box. Oh, wise one.
AJ's gonna hate he missed that one, man.
I know.
Motor City Machine Guns,
that's
of
right.
course.
Woo!
Man, that's a headbanger. Speaking of bangers,
it is. I love that intro.
It is, man. It always gets you fired up too, like right off the bat, and it's it doesn't really sound like anybody else's, so you always kind of knew.
No, it's unique. You know who it is.
Yeah, exactly when they came out. So, and who don't like the machine guns, man?
If you don't,
awesome.
You're wrong.
Right. Love those guys, man. So good choice there by the old Tupac this week.
Yeah, thank you, Jukey the Box.
All right, welcome to the show, everybody. I am the Dirty Bird. That's Primo. As I said earlier, it's time to talk about what we're going to talk about. So this week, we're going to get ready for two huge shows you're watching right now on YouTube, I got those posters up on the screen. We got Iron Spirit Pro going on this Friday, December the 9th. And then Saturday, daytime show, 3 o'clock. Dreamwave Wrestling presents Nevermore, and Raven is going to be in the house. Evil Uno is going to be there. So we're going to be talking about those two shows coming up this weekend. So, and this is both these promotions, their final shows of the year. So we're going to be talking about that here shortly. And we'll talk about all the latest happenings in wrestling, and in today's Dropkick Discussion, a little bit of difference here. I jumped back into the archives and revisited a top 5 that we did in the early days of the pod. So that's going to be fun to come back and talk about. Promo School is back, and it's being taught by one of the best today. We got a promo from Roddy Piper. He's going to be cutting promos on the Cow Palace. He's going to be cutting promos
Cow
on
Palace!
Orndorff. Yeah, Orndorff. And just a classic promo here by Roddy, man. He always likes to get a little crazy in his promos. So we got a good one here for you. Like I said, happy holidays. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Primo, LFG.
Oh,
if I wasn't hyped before.
What up, Mr. Cage Tyler, sweetheart?
This is the wild child, Connor Hopkins.
This is Christian Rose.
Yo, this is the most dope, CJ Esparza.
This is the Croc Rocket, Nickelback poppin', curls for all the girls, the Perminator, Sam Beal.
And you are listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
And you are listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast with DB, Primo, and AJ.
With Primo, DB, and AJ on the Sit Down Marks podcast.
And I am on the Sit Down Marks podcast, and we're going to get some perfection today.
Baby.
Man, I love saying curls for all the girls.
For all the girls. The Rock Rocket.
Rock Rocket. I can't listen to a Nickelback song now.
Nickelback.
Yeah, I can't hear one now without thinking about Sam Beal. So I have to check back in with him sometime. All right, so let's talk about the indies this weekend, the 2 shows we're going to be involved. First off, December 9th, this Friday, Iron Spirit Pro is back. This time for a really big, huge rematch. We're going to be talking about that main event here shortly. But it's going on in Normal, Illinois at the Community Activity Center. That's 1110 Douglas Street in Normal, Illinois. It's going to be a big show coming up here. One of the biggest rematches and one of the biggest matches ever in Iron Spirit Pro history. Now, we're going to talk about this card here shortly. Now, I do have to say that had AJ been here, we could talk about this just a little bit more. But I, being the ring announcer, cannot lean one way or the other. So we're just going to kind of talk about these matches right here real fast.
I can make guesses.
Let you know what's going on the card here. Yeah, go for it here. All right, so just announced not long ago these last couple matches. Mad Dog Connolly, he was always on our cards here in Iron Spirit Pro. He's he's a crazy man, and he's been pretty.
He may be mad.
Yeah. Yes. Right. And he's been very successful for the most part. I don't believe I saw him lose too much. So I know when he comes out, I have to pay attention because he likes to sling around a steel chain a lot. So I got to make sure I don't get hit by that thing, so it probably knocked me out. So,
right.
So anyway, he's taking on a guy named Ethan Everhart who was on our card back in the summer when we did the Connie League show at the amphitheater outdoor show. So he's coming back. So he's going one-on-one with Conley here as this should be a big test for Ethan. Connolly is going to be as he always is. So what do you think, Primo?
I got to go with the Mad Dog.
Okay.
I think that's a fair one.
That's a fair one. Okay. All right. And then just announced. Okay. Now this is awesome here, right here, Primo. You can relate here, brother. We got a tag team match here. 3 out of these 4 guys have been on our podcast before.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So here we go. We got Connor Hopkins and Berna.
Oh,
the
we talked
Coyotes.
about this during the interview. Yeah.
We did, yeah. Going against Rip Studwell, and also been on the podcast before, the biggest baby face in Iron Spirit Pro, Cornboy. Now, we got so that makes these guys kind of one of the biggest baby face teams. They don't win too much historically. Berna and Hopkins last time out, they were unsuccessful, I believe, up against, I believe they lost technical difficulties, I believe, maybe, but not sure. So they are going to be hungry this time, and they don't lose too often either. So there's the pick right there. There it is. Primo, he's got his Coyotes shirt on.
I'm a mark for the Coyotes, man.
That's right. So there they are. So he's going with the Coyotes as his pick. So, all right, jumping towards the top 4 matches that kind of got released early. Solomon Tupu, the Dragon of the Pacific. This guy, no joke. He is, he's a nice Samoan size, big Samoan looking guy, but he's Hawaiian. But like he's been a big time force in Iron Spirit Pro for a while. He's going up against 12 Gauge, who 12 Gauge is he's kind of a local guy. Been wrestling a lot for us here lately. What are you thinking about here, man? We got. Well,
I'll tell you what, those Polynesian guys, they don't really make them. They don't breed them small. So, right. And on top of that, I already know. I've heard AJ rave on and on about Solomon Tupu. He really likes him. So, and I trust his gut on that one. I knew he would pick Solomon. That's who I'm going to go with.
All right, now returning to Iron Spirit Pro, I'm excited about this one, man. He's one of my favorite guys on the Indies. Craig Mitchell is back. He's back from an injury, so he's working his way back into the scene. So glad to see him back. He's going up against the guy Travis Titan, who wrestled Brubaker not long ago, actually in that summer show at Connie Lee Camp Theater, and was unsuccessful there. So he's back to in singles competition. What are you thinking here? Returning Craig Mitchell or a kind of needing a win type Travis Titan?
It's. I'm feeling that in that need to win, that need to get that comeback.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with him.
All right, gotcha. All right, how about 815 now? Both guys have both been on the podcast before. Gunner Brave recently on there. Sabotage Sean. This is kind of no disrespect to their opponents, but this is kind of their tune-up match to the big January 27th.
Yeah, you don't even have to tell me their opponents. I picked them.
You taking them already? All right.
I mean, you could tell the crowd, but I know.
Well, they're going up against Sky's the Limit, and this tag team consists of 2 guys that's been wrestling for us here in Iron Spirit Pro for a little while now, Saban Gage and Xavier Sky. So 815. Like I said, they claim to be undefeated. I don't, they're going to be doing their best to try to stay that way going into January's, or they could overlook these guys. You know how that is looking.
Oh ahead, can't get too complacent.
Right, but they're hungry. All right, so let's talk about this. The biggest rematch in Iron Spirit Pro history, and to make sure we come away with a winner, this match is no DQ this time. The over 2-year reigning Brubaker Iron Spirit Pro champion is putting the title back on the line against CJ Esparza. Now, the number 1 contender. We know the story. Both these guys are local, in this area where this Iron Spirit Pro runs. He got screwed out of the last match. There's been some shenanigans going on, so he's going to be hard to deny this time. But every time I feel like Brubaker has his chips stacked up against him, he comes back out on top. So this one's going to be a super hard one to pick. Just because it's no DQ, that I don't think that favors CJ in any way. I think it almost favors Brubaker more. But what are you thinking?
So we had CJ on the show, but before that last match, and of course, unfortunately, he was, like you said, there was some smodgy going on.
Yeah.
So this time, smodgy can still happen, but it's no DQ. So that does kind of favor Brubaker, I gotta say. However,
Mhm.
maybe maybe CJ has kind of prepped for that. So
Sure.
I'm gonna have to. I'd like to say the 2-year reign is over.
Okay. I mean, and CJ's probably feeling the pressure too. You know, he might not get another
Yeah.
shot if he doesn't win.
That's
You know
true.
what I mean?
That's true.
And
That's
so,
true.
and Brubaker, if you're the champ, man, you do whatever you can to stay
You
on
can
top.
only fly too close to the sun for so long.
That's right. So going out of here, December the 9th, Iron Spirit Pro, this coming Friday is going to be the place to be, man. 7 o'clock, $15 to get in, man. It's a heck of a deal. We got, I think, about 8 matches on the card listed for this Friday night, man. Going to be exciting. I look forward to seeing everybody out there. It's going to be fun. Tori's going to be there again, selling the top rope bacon cookies. So make sure you know there's another incentive to come. Don't worry, Primo. You're getting a package here soon, man. You're gonna get a little taste of the good life over here that we eat.
I want to say though, if I sweep these picks, that I don't know the inside picks.
Sure.
So if I sweep these picks, I get Kurt Angle back.
Speaking of, I ain't even got him yet. I saw
you didn't even got him.
I didn't even get him. Yeah, I totally forgot. Good stuff, man. All right, so and then quick turnaround back on Saturday, a 3:00 show in LaSalle, Illinois, back at the Knights of Columbus building. Dreamwave Wrestling, this is their 3rd show back, and they are full steam ahead, man. This is another card that's going to blow you away. Dreamwave Wrestling presents Nevermore. We got Raven in the house. We got Evil Uno in the house, and then the big attraction really of the night is
DB.
Is possibly me. Yes, I'm going to be doing something there. Can't quite say yet, but the Good as Gold Rumble. Now it's a 30-man Rumble, just like you see on WWE, and it's some of the best independent wrestlers in the Midwest and beyond. And I'm excited for this. A lot of guys that have been on the pod are on this card. Let me talk about some of the guys that are going to be in the actual Rumble. From the Coyotes, Damian Deschain, Berna, Connor Hopkins. And then also we got Aaron Xavier's in it, Chris Castro. We also got Bucky Collins is in it. He's also wrestling Evil Uno probably earlier that night. Assuming the Rumble is probably going to be the main event. So he's going to have his hands full that night trying to win both of those. Hartenbauer, he's another guy in the Good as Gold Rumble, one of the earlier announced participants. And really also another thing too, man, is the big deal here, Primo, is they just signed with IWTV. So all of the backlog catalog of amazing wrestlers that you're watching on TV now or have watched wrestled at Dreamwave, and they're about to put this whole huge catalog on there. So, and not to mention, it's going to be live at 3:00 on IWTV now.
I'll be tuned in.
Yeah, man. Yeah. We're all subscribed here for sure. Now, look, I'm telling you, $9.99 a month is awesome just to be able to watch this card alone, and you get a 7-day free trial just for signing up. And if you go early now, you can check out the October show that they just put up. And as soon as you hit play, you're going to see your boy, it's pretty face right off the bat, standing in the middle of the ring, kicking off the show. So go check that out, man. But yeah, get back to this weekend. We got the Coyotes, Christian and Connor, both former guests, are going up against Hunter Holdcraft and 12 Gauge, who are the local guys there. So that's going to be a big card there, a big match too. And another thing I want to talk about too, man, is this is going to be the hot match right here. Okay, so Dreamwave used to have this title called the Alternative title, which was kind of their secondary workhorse type title. And it's coming back, and they're putting it on the line. Winner of this 4-way match gets it. Now, this is going to be a crazy lucha libre, all over the place. Like you're gonna love this match, man. It's gonna be great. We got ASF versus
Sounds like it's right up
Arias
my alley.
versus Commander versus Gringo Loco. Gringo Loco is kind of the local Chicago. He's kind of our lucha libre kind of. He's like our guy. In that particular type of wrestling, man. So excited that they're bringing that back. And I also forgot to mention Davey Richards versus Ninja Mac. I mean, Ninja Mac's going to be awesome seeing him live. I don't think I've ever seen him live and in person. But let me tell you, though, if you can't get there, I mean, this thing is almost sold out. I think they're at standing room already. So, I mean, it's going to be nuts. It's a daytime show, so it always makes for a good time. And you get to see a 30-man rumble, and there's going to be surprises. There's going to be fun. Jay's a great booker out there. He's going to put on the absolute very best card that he can, and it's going to be worth it, man. So I'm excited. I'm going to be a part of the card. Can't disclose yet, but please do tune in at 3:00 Central Time. That is 4:00 Eastern. So adjust to whatever time you are on, and check us out, man. Kick back for a couple hours and watch some of the best wrestling, man, in the independents and especially in the Midwest and beyond. So make sure you guys check that out. All right, let's get to it. What's that?
I'm glad you clarified that 4:00 Eastern.
Yes,
I was ready to tune in at 3.
You've been texting me. Where are you at, dude?
Right, yeah.
I'm in prep mode here. Got about an hour till showtime.
Right.
Yeah, but it's going to be exciting, man. So I'm very, very, very looking forward to it. Let's talk about a little wrestling on TV. Primo here is let's kick it off with a little AEW. What do you think about MJF like dropping Nick Khan and Tripp's name on TV? And it seems like he has a ton of freedom on the mic, dude. Like more than anybody.
Yeah, he says whatever the fuck he wants. Personally, I don't care that he's doing it. He's doing it for that wow factor, right?
Sure.
He's doing it for that. For those of us that haven't watched him for the past 3 years, or longer,
Sure.
don't realize that he basically says whatever he wants. Basically, if somebody tuned into him this past Wednesday, they hear him say that, and they're like, "Oh shit! Oh my god! He just said that!" Right? So,
right.
To me personally, I'm like, okay. Obviously, 2024 is still a year away.
Sure.
The bidding war of 2024.
Yeah. My difference is, okay, like, it's one thing to kind of like drop something like that, like every now and again. It seems like he brings something like it up often.
I will say I think he overdoes it.
Yeah.
Like, I like MJ a whole lot.
Sure.
And I really enjoy him on the mic. But I do think sometimes maybe he references WWE too much.
Right.
And not in a good way. Like, maybe like where I'm just like, it's kind of wore out its welcome.
Give me an over-under on his title run, 6 months.
So he just got it, 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So November, we're counting November to 6 months would be May.
Sure.
Oh yeah, over.
Yeah.
Over.
Yeah, I'll take over too. I don't think it'll go a year. I think everybody kind of get tired of the gimmick by he'll need to be getting his ass kicked
around the summertime.
Yeah. At some point, yeah. So, but it's I think we're in for a hell of a run here. I think it's going to be fun.
So I do think so too. Obviously, him hitting William Regal, that was clearly a planned spot because Regal is scheduled to go back to WWE. So so obviously he was getting written off. But
the word is he wants to mentor his son, who's getting a little more prominent on
solid. I love that idea.
Yeah.
I love that.
Of course.
Obviously, I mean, I knew it was a matter of time once Triple H took over that Regal would be back. He's one of his mentors, so They
Yeah.
are really. I mean, from all accounts that we've seen and heard, they're close. So,
Yeah.
I gotta say that there was a nice opening brawl between Moxley and Hangman, though.
I agree. I like that too. Yeah. 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 What do you think about it seems that Ricky's probably going to be a little bit of MJF's first foe, I guess,
Yeah.
But it'll make for a good story, right? To come back
Yeah,
later.
it's because they have history, right?
Right.
So I like it, but I don't like it because I don't like what it's going to do to Ricky. But it'll have him in the main event picture. But we obviously know what's good. That he's not going to. I like him, and I've praised him for a while, but he's not taking the title off of MJF anytime soon.
Right.
And he's going to be the first foil to MJF, basically.
Sure. What do you think about the rumors? Well, not really rumors. I've read this a lot of places that he said this. Daniel Bryan, that he's not going to renew his AEW contract. He's because there's a couple things he wants to go do, like wrestle in the G1, do some one-offs.
Yeah. I also saw that. I saw that when his AEW contract is up, and basically we're talking about the same thing here. Is that's when when he's finished full-time wrestling.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't blame him. He came back from severe concussions and being told he'd never wrestle again. So this second run, hopefully he's got everything he wanted out of it. And I mean, he was world champ in WWE. So
yeah.
he had the hemp title. Speaking of custom titles, we had the scarf title.
The scarf title, I know, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't decide if it's cool looking or if it's like, I don't know.
I think I mean, nobody cares what I think, but what do they call it? Burberry or
Burberry or something.
Yeah. Anyway, it looks kind of silly, but I thought the brown. For a second before I saw the pattern, I thought it was just brown. I thought that looked kind of classic, like looking, old school.
Yeah.
But then I saw the pattern of the tie, and I was like, oh Lord. But yeah, okay. I mean, he's the first person to do that with the AEW title.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, it hasn't been modified up to that point.
So, I mean, I like custom titles, so I'm cool with it.
Right. And they're always a great merch seller. They become
they become something else that AEW can sell. And
sure. Yeah.
MJ make royalties off of, hopefully.
Definitely. Man, so let's talk about Jade Cargill's outfit. Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
That was pretty skippy, man. That was
dude,
not bad.
I mean,
not bad. She's looking more like a boss, I think, to me.
Yeah, she's legit. I mean, I know I wasn't sold on her a few months ago, but yeah, I mean, at this point, they've made her pretty strong. I mean, obviously, look at her; she's physically strong. But I'm saying, as her character and her whole gimmick.
Yeah.
She's definitely a boss. I agree.
I seen on SportsCenter something. She was sitting courtside with Naomi.
Yep.
At NBA game, I think, or something like that.
Yeah. They did meet up at an NBA game. So that's kind of interesting.
Sure.
People are like, "Oh shit, Naomi to AEW now."
Oh yeah, I know. As soon as you seen that,
the rumors start. What about the return of Ruby?
Yeah. She was injured too, correct? I guess.
I feel bad for not knowing she was gone. I was like, I didn't know. It's not that I didn't know she was gone. It's just that I guess the last time we saw her was I don't even know.
Yeah.
But I didn't think about it. It didn't occur to me that she wasn't there.
Right. I remember she had that little feud with Britt for a little while, and then that was over kind of somewhat fast. But yeah,
the last thing I remember really with her was whenever she was Eddie Kingston was. She was with him.
Mm-hmm. They were in Indianapolis too. She's from Indiana.
Okay.
So another reason why she returned there. She's from Lafayette.
Cool.
Yeah. I remember I watched an interview with her one time. I always remember this. She said, "I love getting on airplanes to go home." She goes, because they're always empty because nobody wants to go to Indiana.
Well, I've said this until even before until I drove through it this past January, going to St. Louis for Royal Rumble. But before that, I'd never stepped foot in Indiana, and I always thought of Indiana as like a forgotten state. As a Texan, who when you go if you go talk to somebody from overseas or whatever, across the pond, anywhere, you're talking about the U.S., they think either Florida, California, New York, or Texas. That's what,
right.
And that's just what they think, because that's the popular ones, right? So, and being from the States and being from Texas, I'm just like, who lives in Indiana?
Right.
So, like, yeah, I get that. I totally get that.
That's all I got for AEW, man. You got anything else?
No, that's it. That's all I got for AEW as well.
All right, let's go to Impact, man. I got a few notes here. Man, I'll tell you what, dude. Like, I was like so into Impact and liking it and rolling with it, liking the storylines. Everything's good. But now, man, I'm getting so annoyed because there's too much Bully Ray, man. He's on the opening. He's showing up, popping up in the middle. He's closing the show. And it's just too much, man. Like, he's like, and I don't know. I just feel like people are losing spots because he's on the TV so much now. And I mean, I get it. He's great, but I feel the same way about JBL too right now. Like, I don't care to see him too much either, really. You know what I mean? He's great.
It is weird.
Yeah.
It's like, why are we seeing you? Like, it's the same thing as like, well, it's not quite the same thing, but it's like when we see Goldberg come back. I'm like,
yeah,
like,
it's like nothing against Billy Ray. He's a legend, absolutely, right? And
for sure,
3D forever.
Part of one of my favorite matches of all time.
Right, but I believe he just interrupted the flow. You know what I mean? Like,
it's what these legends do.
Yeah,
that's what all the
came
Indian
by
legends
him all
do.
of a sudden. Yeah,
they just because they have that status, and they have that, and obviously they've earned that right to be able to be like, hey, I'm so and so.
Right.
But they always do that. They just stick their nose all of a sudden. They insert themselves, basically.
Right. And he's feuding with Josh Alexander, so I'm like, oh boy, they're gonna put the title on him. He just gets to jump to the front of the line. But whatever. But anyway, let's talk about something a little more positive. As our girl, very popular around here, she continues the retirement tour by staying on top. I'm talking about none other than Mickie James.
Hardcore country.
That's right, baby.
I'm really starting to get like really intrigued by this storyline. Like, I'm loving it, man. Like, every time she wrestled, like, I'm really paying attention. But she beat Deonna Purrazzo, right? In this match. And maybe a little unfairly, but a win's a win, right?
All she did was flick the tights.
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
Not that bad. Not in wrestling. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
So then, here we go. Now the business picks up because Jordan, a.k.a. Jack Grace, comes out. She's the Knockouts title champion, and she gives Mickie a shot at Hard to Kill. So basically, this becomes a retirement match. Either Mickie wins, becomes champ, or she loses and goes home, unless there's schmozzy schmoz, some kind of something. But
she'd be like, I didn't technically lose.
Right? Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, but I'm interested. Like, I'm liking the storyline. Like, it's keeping me intrigued. So, but
yeah. What do you think? We didn't talk about it last week, but basically, Diener and Khan, Khan, basically kicking EY out.
Yeah. I guess it makes sense now because we're seeing the EY's going back to WWE. So that's how they're going to play him off. So
thank goodness, because I was not happy with his run.
In WWE.
Yeah. And I'm I like EY a whole lot.
Same.
And it's not his fault that he didn't get a good run. He didn't even get a fair shot.
Yeah. But you think they'll do like the faction leader thing with him again?
He put him back with Nikki Cross.
Yes, and bring
And
Big Damo back.
Damo, yeah. I forgot who else was with him. What were they called?
Alexander. Ah. Oh shoot.
This is why I have Google.
Yes, right.
Vanity. Alexander Wolf.
Yes, Alexander Wolf. There you go.
Kelly and Dane, which is Dan. Yeah.
They had
Eric
the helicopter
Young,
music.
Sawyer Fulton and Nikki Cross.
Yeah, Sawyer's in Impact, I think. Yeah. And it looks like Cody Deaner's going to be the new Violent by Design leader, kind of.
Yep.
So, because he's looking a little sinister faced, and as the show went off, I believe.
Yeah, he I was just like, okay. I mean, it's cool. I mean, I get why they're doing it. But
yeah,
do
Big Con and
you have what it takes, to
right.
I feel like a faction like that, or any faction, always needs a centerpiece.
Sure.
And without the centerpiece or something shiny to keep it going, it's not. Nobody wants to be interested in it anymore.
Yeah, definitely. Let's move to WWE, dude. I got a few notes for them. So Ricochet wins this number one contender to the IC title. We've already seen him.
The World Cup.
Gunther. Yeah, the World Cup thing. We've already seen him versus Gunther. They gonna put the title on Ricochet? Like, why are we seeing this again? That don't make no sense to me. Really.
Nope, that just tells me that Gunther's gonna keep the title for a while, even longer.
By the way, dude, Raw is in DC. Did you think about going?
Yeah. I actually did think about it. I thought hard about going, and then I watched Raw, and I was like, I'm glad I didn't go. Yeah. I'm glad I didn't pay money for that.
My exact notes right here says Raw was in DC. Wonder if Primo went. Doubt it. This show was awful.
I was like, so here's my thought process. And I knew it was going to be in DC like 2 months ago.
Right.
And because it's going to be in Chicago in a couple of weeks for SmackDown.
Yeah.
And I was thinking all up until about before I went on vacation. I was like, I don't know, maybe,
Right.
And then I was like, no, I can't take any more time off work anyway, so I'll just watch it on TV. And then I watched it, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm glad.
Right. Yeah, and usually, like, a lot of times, like if you're coming to DC, like your local radio will say, the main event is Becky Lynch versus Asuka versus Alexa Bliss or whatever the main event was like that.
Yeah, I guess they're coming back to DC in March for SmackDown. I guess that somebody had posted a screenshot of that.
Yeah. What I always think of DC when I think of WWE, those when Batista was hot,
back in the
when
day,
they always came back to Washington, like his
Capital
hometown,
Punishment.
Those were always big.
Yeah.
Those were always big and fun. Yeah. So I wasn't really impressed with SmackDown or Raw this week, but
SmackDown, not so much. Raw, excuse me. I have a couple of things on Raw.
Okay.
Number one, obviously. So I have a question for you. Who do you think will take the belts off of the Usos and win? I'll tell you my answer. I have an answer already.
When Randy comes back.
Okay. So my answer is I think it's going to be Sammy and KO.
Okay.
And I
That's
think
how they'll play off.
Could be potentially WrestleMania.
Okay. That'd be a hell of a storyline because Sammy would have to leave Bloodline. They'd have to go through that.
At some point, they got to jump him, right?
Sure,
At some point, all of our hearts got to be broken, like when Seth turned on the Shield.
Well, they're planting seeds because they already ridiculed Sammy for making them lose that one match a while back, and they said we ain't forgotten. And they're like and then they like change the subject all of a sudden. So that'd be a cool storyline too. That'd be a good one.
So then,
good way.
Yeah, and I think obviously I know the plan was before Sammy got super hot in the bloodline, was for KO and Sammy to get back together, but
Right. That would
I feel
probably
like
be better.
yeah, I feel like eventually that's gonna happen. Also, another thing I put was that chair spot in the corner with Solo and Riddle was pretty cool. And also he did the Samoan Spike to honor
The
his
Umaga.
Umaga.
Yeah, they didn't even mention it. They didn't even mention it.
Speaking
that
of
was
Umaga,
awesome.
his son actually started training.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
And then my only I got two things left on Raw. And number one, they have Seth versus Bob, the almighty Bob, next week for the U.S. title number one contendership. And I was like, wait a minute, did Seth ever get his automatic rematch? Do they still do automatic rematches?
I don't know. I don't think so. Unless it's like if they want to, but it doesn't seem that way.
And then I saw who is it? It's gonna end up being Bailey versus Alexa for the chance to face Bianca.
Yeah.
So I was like, so basically Bailey's gonna face Bianca again.
I
Which
guess,
is fine.
man.
Which is fine. I guess Bailey's gonna get the title maybe. And then that's all I got for Raw.
But next big pay-per-view is Rumble. So
yeah, they're not gonna do day one anymore.
It's a little more than over a month now. My guess is
we don't have anything in December, huh?
No, it used to be like Hell in a Cell. Not sure.
New Year's Revolution.
Yeah, I don't know. It used to be Armageddon back in the day.
Armageddon.
Yeah, it used to be the December one, I believe.
Unforgiven.
When's Randy coming back? Because that's what I think he's coming back.
He just had surgery.
Right. Yeah. So I guess they had to hold him for quite a while.
Right.
That happened,
it was back surgery too.
Yeah.
So I don't think he's coming back by the Rumble.
No, probably not either.
I think that Cody comes back at the Rumble.
That'd be interesting. And the Rock rumors are picking up too.
Somebody said that. Well, I saw the screenshot. You know that show, Young Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Seems like they keep laying Easter eggs in that show, too.
Oh, yeah.
Because at one point, like, it was when there's an episode, I seen the snippet of it. The Rock is already a wrestler, and at that time, Roman's like a kid. And they're like, one day it could be me versus you, Uncle or Cousin Rock or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they put that there. And then this past
smart.
I saw a screenshot where the Rock is walking into this area and it's like his pictures and his titles that he's won in the past. And one of the titles was the Blue Universal Championship. Yeah.
All right.
Weird.
I like it.
He ain't winning that.
Let's talk NXT, man.
Yeah.
Chase U. I love that shit, man. It's my favorite part of NXT
Duke
still.
Hudson.
And Duke's add a funny factor. Talia is kind of a funny factor. But what's popping me lately is how Andre will say fuck all the time and they'll beep it, right? And put the Andre Chase logo on his mouth.
It's hilarious.
Shit. He said, I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna kick those motherfuckers.
Yep.
Yeah.
He just goes for it.
Yeah, NXT's been kind of dead lately. This was a pretty good episode. I totally dug New Day coming out to challenge Pretty Deadly. There's a matchup
New Day on NXT.
Yeah, that was cool.
It's your boys, the New Day.
Yeah, so that's cool. That'd be a cool matchup. I don't want to see New Day win the titles, but I always like seeing first time matchups. It's got to be, so that'll be fun.
It's hard too, though. It's like I also don't want to see a NXT tag team beat the New Day clean, because the New Day at this point are a legendary tag team.
Sure, so it won't hurt them if they lose. It'll be okay.
Why would they lose to a tag team in the AAA division.
Because they're the champions.
Yes, I
It's
mean, I
all
understand that.
about
No,
elevating them, right?
don't get me wrong. That's what's
Sure.
going to happen. I'm
Sure.
just saying losing clean.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's flip side though. Why should a up and coming rising tag team with the belts that they're trying to get over and look as legit and dominant beat a legendary tag team, one of the probably top 5 tag teams ever,
Mm-hmm.
So why would they
shouldn't
lose?
they?
Why would they lose to why would you have them lose to those guys? I mean, it's either way. Yeah, why would they lose?
Because they are. Because the New Day is one of the best tag teams ever, and
Sure.
because they are 11-time or whatever they are champions, and Pretty Deadly is they've never won championships on the main roster. I mean,
right,
right,
but it kind of kills their momentum too if they're just going to feed them all the new guys.
The Dallas Cowboys playing a damn high school team in Texas.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
Now, don't get me wrong. I am excited to see the match. Yes.
Right. I am too. I'm gonna look. I kind of look at it this way: New Day's coming to NXT, so it's kind of like their playground. If Pretty Deadly was going up to SmackDown, I fully would expect Pretty Deadly to lose. But they're coming back down to NXT, so unless they're going to let the I guess New Day's never won the NXT tag team titles because they were formed on the main roster. Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, New Day? Yeah. They never won the NXT titles.
Main roster. Yeah. All right. But my last kind of gripe about NXT is, I love my boy Booker T, and I know you love him too. But man, he is getting a little over the top. Like, just I don't know. It like they told him, like, hey man, turn yourself up to 25. Whenever you're out there, he is just like so. I don't know. Just
he's always been very boisterous.
Yeah.
So
it just seems a little turned up this time.
I mean, I'm not annoyed with it yet.
Yeah,
but
not yet.
I can see what you're saying.
Yeah. You want to talk this deadline card here real quick?
Yeah, so on the deadline card, we have 5 matches.
Is it Saturday night or is it Sunday?
I think so. I think it's Saturday night.
Saturday night.
Alba Fire versus Isla Dawn.
Yeah, Alba.
Yeah.
We don't know a whole lot. They kind of just put this together last night. Did they not?
Yeah, I personally don't really. Yeah, it's like
they have beef in
really
UK, I think. NXT UK, and they're bringing it here, I believe.
NXT Tag Team Championship match. We both just talked about this. Pretty Deadly versus the New Day.
I'm going Pretty Deadly.
Pretty Deadly, yeah. NXT Championship match. Braun Breaker versus Apollo Crews.
Well, they went fishing together.
They went fishing. They went to a diner. They went.
Right.
They've been doing all these places together.
Oh, geez, man. I mean, I don't think Apollo's going to take it off of him yet. So.
Apollo!
Yeah, I'm going Braun.
Yeah, I'm going to go Braun as well. The Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. Remember, this is the new match that they're going to bring in.
Yeah.
Almost like the old 6-pack challenge or whatever they used to call that.
Right.
Women's version is Zoe Stark versus Cora Jade versus Roxanne Perez versus Kiana James versus Indy Hartwell. I gotta go with Indy.
I would be totally cool with that. She's probably the one I would like to see win out of all this. I think they're probably going to go with a heel to win it. I don't know, give Cora Jade something to kind of brag about, so I'm going to go with her. She'll probably beat up on Roxanne a pretty good bit because Roxanne got her, I think, last time out. But yeah, not many matches.
So I'm choosing Indy, and then on the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge, we have Carmelo Hayes versus JD McDonough versus Grayson Waller. versus Joe Gacy versus Axiom. I
This one's tough.
I personally, I think I'm gonna pick Joe Gacy.
Yeah. JD McDonough hasn't won big matches.
Give Braun a different look.
Sure. Yeah, because winner gets a shot, right? Yeah, kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're all right. Talk me into it. I don't know. I mean, part of me wants Jay McDonough. Like, I feel like this might be a spot for Carmelo after losing the title. So, yeah, screw it. I'm going to take Carmelo.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I agree. And that's all we got for the NXT deadline.
Yep. That's all I got too. That's going to do it for recaps, man. Let's move on over here to the Dropkick discussion of the week here. Got a quick little top 5 here to go.
Hey guys, this is Mr. Havens, the Argyle assassin himself, giving them all the shivers.
This is the one and only Mike Hartenbauer.
This is Space Jesus, Billy Starks.
This is referee Dan Perch.
What's up, bozos? This is Trevor Outlaw. You can address me as yours rudely. And you're listening to the Sit Down Marks podcast.
You guys are listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
You're listening to Sit Down Marks podcast.
Come celebrate pro wrestling right here on the Sit Down Marks podcast.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With DB, Primo, and AJ.
With Primo, DB, and AJ.
And you're listening to DB, Primo, AJ here on the Sit Down Marks podcast, the best podcast for professional wrestling.
All right, so the Dropkick discussion, as a little news flash here, coming in 2023 is going to be retired. Not completely, but we'll bring it back on certain occasions to talk about certain things. But for the month of December, we're going to be doing it as we're going to jump back into the archives to talk about some topics that we talked about a long time ago, or maybe not so long ago, but definitely before now. So this week, what I decided to do was I went back and picked a pod from the very early beginnings, and where we talked about our top 5 favorite best wrestlers in the world. This pod was shot on August the 11th in 2021. Episode number 22, Primo.
Episode number 22. Wow.
Yeah, long time ago, man.
72 episodes ago, huh?
72 episodes ago, yeah. All right, so just to kind of see where we were at now versus see if they hold up now, let's have a little fun here first. Let's start with AJ.
Okay.
AJ's top 5, going from 5 to 1. His number 5 was, now remember this, August 11th, 2021, Daniel Makabe. Watching him a lot on the independent scene, so I'm sure that's still pretty good. Now, who he had at number 4 has definitely moved up here. He had Shinsuke Nakamura at number 4.
Nakamura!
Yeah, he was at number 4. Number 3, a guy we haven't seen very much. He said Miro. And then number 2, Jericho. Number 1, Finn Balor. No surprise there. So I think these hold up pretty well. I think Nakamura was probably be higher on his favorite list at the moment, but Finn's still his number 1, I'm sure. Jericho's still up there. He's probably a little cold on him, but Miro's probably fallen out.
Yeah, probably.
Makabe's still there for him, but I think AJ still holds up pretty well.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
Yeah, I think it's fair too.
It's funny to hear that list because of the time, but
yes, it is. It is.
Things have changed.
Yes, it definitely has. Let's save you for last, Primo. Let's go to my top 5 at the moment. In August 11th, 2021. Number 5 was Jake. What's my name?
Something!
Yes. Hadn't got to do that for a while. Jake would still be in my top 5 right now, probably at 5. I still love, he's still one of my guys in the independents. And when I said this too, he was on Impact Wrestling roster a lot at the moment. So I had Kenny Omega at number 4.
Okay.
he would probably not be there. Nothing personal, he's still as good as ever, but he probably wouldn't be there for me. Number 3, Sami Callihan. I would probably have him bumped up to number 2. At number 2, I had MJF. I'd probably switch those guys around maybe, and I have Sammy up there. But my number 1, it's solid. As long as he's on the roster, I'm probably not budging. This will take somebody to make me like them more than I like Kevin Owens. So I'm definitely going to stay there. So, so that was my top 5 from August 11, 2021. Primo, let's get to yours, man. Let's start at number 5.
Oh, Lord.
You had Kota Ibushi as number 5. He was hot in Japan at the moment.
At that very moment, yeah.
He was. So that was your number 5. Number 4, a guy solid, might be signing somewhere soon, Nick Aldis.
Oh, I already know who this is. Yeah, Nick Aldis, yeah.
You had Omega at number 3, like I had Omega at number 4. What was your top 2? Any guesses?
Jericho.
Sure. Number 1.
Hardy.
Roman.
Yep.
Jericho, Roman, Omega, Nick Aldis, Kota. Top 5 from 1 to 5.
Ooh. Okay. Former Primo.
Yeah, so I think all of ours somewhat holds up pretty well. I was trying to think if Hardy was back with AEW by then. Where was he at that point? So you probably didn't include him. Yeah, or you probably didn't include him for some reason, right? Because he's kind of your guy, right?
I probably there had to have been a reason there.
Right. Nice. All right. Well,
that's cool, though.
Yeah. So that was a quick Dropkick discussion for the week. Jumping back into the archives.
I like that.
Yeah, that is fun.
This is where we were.
Yep. And you'll have your turn to go back. It was fun to go back and listen to us talking about it then too. So yeah. So next week, AJ is going to do the same thing that I did. He's going to go back and pick a top 5 from the archives, and we're going to talk about those as well. And then the week after Christmas, after our Christmas break, will be Primo's turn, and he'll have his fun at doing those on the last podcast of 2022 before we head into 2023. All right, since AJ ain't here, then I will plug the merch. Go on down to www.tpublic.com/stores/SitDownMarks. They've been running deals and specials for like a month now.
Nonstop. I get the emails every day.
Yes, 35% off, 40% off, t-shirts, mugs, stickers, hats, women's scarves, maybe. I don't know. Baby clothes. All that good stuff. So, yeah, go check us out, man. Or just go on to tpublic.com. Put Sit Down Marks in the search bar. That works, too.
Yep, that works, too. How funny would it be if we had lingerie and people had to deal with our faces? Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Imagine the old Sit Down Marks podcast logo and a nice little pair of silk panties right before you get
that
down to
won't get you dick hard.
Yeah, I don't think looking at either of our faces means anything about sex. So
that's right.
Yeah. So unless you're like, I don't know, into that kind of thing.
I mean, hey, I do. We are a bunch of studs.
Yeah. Funny stuff. Yeah. So going down tpublic.com/stores/SitDownMarks. Check out the merch. Buy yourself something. Support the pod. Everything that you buy goes back into the pod. So we thank everybody for doing that. So go check it out. So this week's promo school is a little guy named Roddy Piper. Now this particular promo was one where Roddy was getting real fired up about Paul Orndorff. He was getting real fired up about the Cow Palace, which was a place he had opinions about in San Francisco a long time ago when they were when they used to wrestle there a lot. So, but Roddy, one of the best. This is a great promo. He always gets fired up. He always looks like he's going to pop a blood vessel.
Yeah,
when he's talking about it. I like how he goes, from crazy to sane. like within seconds.
My favorite.
You
Well, yeah, it's controlled chaos, I'd say.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about this promo is the very beginning where Mean Gene's like, "Oh, I gotta go to the men's room, so here you go."
Right. Yeah, just hands him the mic and walks away. So, all right. So, full disclosure, we don't just play these things blindly. Roddy does use the word midget in this promo. So, just want to throw it out there that yes, we know about this. This was, obviously a long time ago. We don't condone the use of that word because it's, politically incorrect to say that now. So just wanted to, put that out there. Yes, fully aware if we happen to listen to it, but the way he uses it isn't so bad. But yes, just wanted to put it out there that we do know he says it. But either way, classic promo. Check it out. Turn it up. Roddy Piper just throwing down right here. Here we go.
The very controversial host of Piper's Pit, Roddy Piper. Mr. Piper, I would stick around, but you're going to have to excuse me. I have to go to the men's room. I'll be right back. Thank you.
Oh, going home? Oh, my goodness, that's fine. Cow Palace. You can go to the men's room in the Cow Palace. That's a wonderful name in San Francisco because the Cow Palace is someplace that I would be proud to call my home. Cow Palace is someplace that I'd be proud to bring my gal. Because obviously, if you live in San Francisco and you are going out with gals, obviously they belong in the Cow Palace. I saw one. The only thing she was missing was antlers. She would have been in season, Jack, man. I saw her coming up to me, asking me for a date. I says, man, I'm Hot Rod. Are you kidding me? He said, yeah, but aren't you the one that's going to fight Mr. Wonderful? I says, yeah, I'm going to fight Mr. Blunderful. They says, but aren't you the one that's going to fight him with all them wrestlers around the ring? He says, yeah, that's me. He says, don't you know what he's thinking? Of course. Yeah, I know what he's thinking. Absolutely nothing, man. When he's in a room alone, he is all alone. You see, you forget, I rode with him. I know what an idiot this guy is. I know his moves. Oh, yes, he's tough. I know he's tough. You think I ain't, man? I've been around. You know that. I've been there before. He's tough enough to go and bench press 500 pounds. Who really cares, man, huh? Your idea here of a wrestling match here, you got 12 wrestlers around the ring. You got dancing midgets and leathers. You got everything that you've ever wanted in a match. You know why I signed this? Incidentally, it didn't take me 2 months to sign this match. No. It didn't take me 2 months to make up my mind, brother. No. I said, you want me to fight somebody? I'll fight anybody. Who do you want? Just let me fight him. Orndorff says, well, I'm going to take my time. It's going to take me about 2 months, and I'm going to go right now and go to the bathroom, think about it, and now I'm back. Right there. It's your idea of Orndorff's father. You see, that's going to happen after you fight me. Going to be nothing left of you except for old and bald and ugly. You ain't going to be no Hot Rod. You're just going to be somebody that can't keep his bladder empty.
Thank you very much, Roddy Piper. Back in the Bay Area at the Cow Palace Thursday night, October the 10th. Don't you dare.
Well, he started doing the impressions.
The impression of Orndorff was so funny. Yeah. Spot on.
It was spot on. Totally. It was great, man. Yeah, it was good stuff, man. That's why I love hearing the old guys, man, how they used to cut the promos. Just it was a different art back then, It was good times, man. So good stuff there. We'll bring that back again there sometime in here in a few weeks. Primo, you got some headlines for us this week, brother?
I got a few. So today in the headlines, I hadn't done this in a while, but there's nothing like a good old news.
Nothing like a good news giggle.
That's right. So thanks, H. So today is the December 7th edition, Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day.
Yes, it is.
Earlier this week, Barry Windham suffered a heart attack. He had to undergo an emergency life-saving surgery and is currently doing stable in the ICU. I believe they set up a GoFundMe or a donation button if people want to go help out with the medical payments. Obviously, keep him in your thoughts.
Yeah, absolutely.
MJF filed, speaking of you talked earlier about how he is mentioning Papa H.
Yep.
Excuse me. Well, he trademarked the phrase "Reign of Terror."
Huh. How's he spelling
Remember
rain?
back in the day, Triple H's Reign of Terror.
Yeah.
Yeah. So MJF's Reign of Terror. It's REIGN. So Reign spelled proper.
Good Lord.
Yep. Ric Flair's 2-hour documentary, which is called "Woo!" Becoming Ric Flair, is set to premiere on December 26th on Peacock. It's
Right.
6 O's after the woo. The
Right,
W.
it's a 6. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me why. Why do we need to read this? Why? Like, what's
This
going to
one
be
is
different about
supposed to be the most raw.
Oh.
He said not pulling any punches on this one, not letting them edit
Oh,
out the
okay.
stuff. Yeah.
All right. I'll watch it then.
The Usos, you may or may not have seen this today, but the Usos are the ones.
'Cause you're the twos and we the ones.
On the PWI Tag Team list for 2022. They are number 1 this year. Congratulations to the Usos. Various wrestlers and tag teams out there have congratulated them on social media. If you want to hear the top 10 list, I do have it right here. Of course, we have at number 10, formerly of MLW, Violence is Forever, which is Dominic Guarini and Kevin Koo.
Yeah.
Then at number 9, we have The Hex, Allison Kay and Marty Bell of NWA.
Okay.
Number 8, the Young Bucks, which in 2021, Young Bucks were number 1.
Number 1, right. Okay.
Number 7, the Good Brothers.
Fair.
This next
Too
one
sweet.
kind of surprised me, but so this next one surprised me that they were even in the top 10, but I guess they may have been on a hot streak during the evaluation period. So you got to keep in mind when PWI does these lists, there's an evaluation period, which
Right,
is like
yeah.
usually like first and second quarter of the year or something like that.
Right.
Anyway, number 6 is RK Bro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously.
And then number 5, I'm not familiar with these from Stardom, Hazuki and Kagoma. Fukukoa, Double Crazy.
Okay.
Yep. Number 4, they're on my top 5, Lucha Bros.
Dope. Legit.
Number 3, the Briscoe Brothers.
Nice. Okay.
And if the Usos are number 1, then who is number 2?
FTR.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's debatable. That's debatable, obviously.
Sure.
but
Yeah.
we don't make the picks, so.
Right. Yeah. There's arguments for both, really. You know what I mean? Honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. Like it.
And then, I think that's pretty cool. It's a good list. Congrats to the Usos once again. And lastly, speaking of, we talked about earlier about Bryan Danielson, talking about him not being full-time anymore. Well, somebody else announced that 2023 will be his last year of wrestling. And that is Dustin Rhodes, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
He supposedly has really bad knee issues.
I bet, man. How long?
I mean,
have we
he's
watched
been
him?
going for forever.
Yeah. Long time. So yeah, he'll probably just fall into the coach's role, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And you know what they say? I mean, wrestlers don't really retire, but maybe it's his last year full time. 2023, excuse me, maybe his last year full time wrestling, and he may pop in from here time to time. I'm sure WWE can pay enough money for him to show up for a Royal Rumble for one match to do Goldust, you know?
Sure. Yeah. No doubt.
But anyway, that's all I got for the headlines today. You got anything?
No, that's all I got, man. I got a few more notes here before we go later on. But all right, man, give us that preview of next week, man.
All right. Come on in, Marks. Have a seat next to the campfire, next to Big Daddy Primo. Lucha Daddy, baby. So, I almost pulled an AJ.
You did. I was waiting.
Hey, this is Buck Nasty, Bucky Collins, and you're listening to Sit Down Marks.
That was a close one.
That was a good. That was a good tribute. That was a good tribute.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was just trying to. Yeah, that's what I was doing. All right. Next week we continue our dive into pods from Christmas past. See what I did there? As AJ will lead the Dropkick discussion, as he will choose a topic we can all laugh and point at each other. Also, next week we'll talk about the Iron Spirit Pro and Dreamwave shows and all the latest in wrestling, of course. Also, I will get to host a game of squared circle questions, which I love doing, as AJ will take on DB in a Whoville Seasons Meetings Christmas candy cane on a pole throwdown match. Excited yet? Yeah, me too. See you all there next week. Be safe. Keep it between the mustard and the mayonnaise. Same bat time, same bat channel. You know what I'm saying? Lucha Daddy out.
All right, a couple notes here, man. I found out right before we went live, man. RPD won his first world title, man. He is the brand new TNT Extreme Champion. He beat Big Shreddy and another guy in the triple threat match. I shouted him out on social media, but wanted to shout him out on the pod. I know he listens to SportzWire Online Radio, so congrats, RPD, brother. Kicking ass.
Congrats, brother. We are friends of RPD on this pod, and as I do believe at the beginning of 2022, we said RPT 2022 or RPD 22 is what we said, and I'm glad to see that he won a world title before the year ends.
Just got it in, didn't we?
Congrats, man. I couldn't be happier for you.
Yeah, man. Just getting it in for the end of the year, so it's going to be fun holidays next year. So, good stuff. The next thing I want to say is I just found out, which the news just broke a couple days ago. Our boy Brian Battle, he's kind of been waiting around, waiting for the UFC to give him a fight, and nothing happened. So he stepped in on basically like a 3-week notice. He's got a fight December the 17th now. He's fighting on the undercard. He's fighting a guy named, I'm going to butcher the shit out of this, but his name is Rinat Fakhretdinov. Fakhretdinov. Anyway, he's a Russian guy. He's 19-1. Brian really wanting to stay busy and getting a fight in for the holidays. Took this fight on 3 months' notice. He's looking to go 4-0 in the UFC. So check it out on the prelims. I'll remind you again next week, but it's on Saturday, December 17th. It's one of the free ones on ESPN. So check it out, man. It's probably going to be, I don't know, he's probably going to fight like 4 or 5 o'clock during the day. So, so we'll talk about that later. So, yeah, after that, man, that is it for me. Happy holidays, everybody. Happy holidays. Good night, Thomas Bryce. Hope everything is going well.
Good night, sweet Prince, Thomas Bryce.
That's right. Primo, good to do a pod with you, sir. AJ will be back with us next week for episode number 95 as we inch very closer to episode number 100. Thank you guys, everybody, for downloading and listening to the pod. Primo, if you got anything else, brother, take us home.
Will do, man. Everybody stay safe and thump.
Last night I dug.
Just kidding.
So you guys know, man, AJ's a piece of shit. We were out at lunch today. Yeah, he didn't show up for the pod, but we had lunch today. He did the old I didn't bring my wallet trick. Oh,
not only did he come to lunch and not come to the pod, but he came to the lunch and still didn't give you the Kurt Angle trophy.
Yep, and they didn't give me the Kurt Angle trophy either. Just kidding, that's a total lie, but I don't care. He's not here, so I'll spread it.